Welcome, South Chamber family and friends, to season 2 of The Business. Today we are filming live from the Hard Rock Cafe in downtown San Antonio. We have our guest is Ashley. What was your last name one more time, Ashley?
Versailles.
Versailles. Dutch last name you said, right?
That's correct.
That's correct. And Ashley, where are you from originally?
Originally from Plano, Texas, which is in Dallas, but I did go to high school and college here. I went to UTSA.
Go Runners.
Go Runners.
If I could get you to get the mic up a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. No, you're good. Well, thank you for hosting our mixer today and also the first episode of season 2. We were going to talk a little bit about the Hard Rock Cafe's story. There's a lot going on now, but if you want to tell us a little bit about the story of Hard Rock Cafe here in San Antonio at the Riverwalk, when it all started, how it's all going.
Of course, yes. So we were originally open on January 12th, 1995. So that was a while back, but that is when Selena Quintanilla actually performed at our cafe during the grand opening with Cheap Trick and Aerosmith.
Okay,
but
that's a good remix there.
Yeah, no, that was a great time. I wish I could have been here for that. But that was only about 4 months before she passed away. So then once we found out she did, Hard Rock has a star. It's right in front on our street level, dedicated to her, and because she had just performed here a few months beforehand.
Just before she had passed.
Right.
And I had recently found that out. You actually educated me on that. I didn't realize that timeline. I did also see that Steven Tyler did some artwork here. He spray painted something, or what's going on?
He did. So when Steven Tyler and Aerosmith were here, he did spray paint a part of the building. And so what Hard Rock did is everything can become memorabilia for us. So they basically cut it out, and now it's like our lipstick wall. Basically, you kiss the wall, but he drew like a dog. And so
yeah, I saw
when you first come in on street, it's on the left side. And so, pre-COVID, a lot of people, you
Sure.
get your lipstick on and kiss the wall, and Steven Tyler, it's a thing.
Touch it and disinfect it afterwards.
Yes.
Well, look, when we travel around the world, most major cities are known to have a Hard Rock Cafe. And so, what's the story of Hard Rock Cafe when they say, this is a city we think we want to be in?
So for Hard Rock, it's about being in like the biggest and best place. You'll see one if you go to New York City or Las Vegas, San Antonio included. We're a top 10 cafe in North America. So, they put us right on the Riverwalk because they just want us to be in the heart of the city and where, tourists are, but locals are also coming, to see the city for the first time. So it's really all about music, creating an authentic experience that is Hard Rock, and we've never veered off from that. So that's what they look for. And
so in a lot of ways, you've also become a community space for not only, I guess, San Antonians, but Texans in general. I know this isn't the first type of interview you've had on this patio, so to speak. You've hosted several events here, huh?
Yes, yeah, we love to host events. We actually did a large renovation. It started in 2019 and it ended March 2020, which was just really bad timing. But since we've reopened, then everybody's got to see this beautiful space. The idea of this room that we're in is, as the barges pass by, they can see what's going on. If you have a band, you have a DJ, you have a podcast. This is the first podcast we've done in this room.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But, you can see, people can see that there's stuff going on here. So that's the idea
right.
here.
Look, if you wave to them, they wave back.
They will wave.
Watch. There they go. We got a couple.
Yeah, so they can see you.
Tell us more about the space up here. You mentioned the renovations. It's pretty obvious, right? The bigger space here, but you want to share some of that?
Yes, of course. So in the middle here on street level, there used to be just like a giant, hole in the
right
floor.
There, yeah.
We called it a mezzanine, but it was a giant hole in the floor, but we patched that up to make it a huge event space. So now we can fit, 200 to 250 people here. We have a third floor balcony. You could also call it like a rooftop bar, and it's just outside. That can accommodate up to 100. And then downstairs, you have our beautiful river patio on the Riverwalk and an inside area with our huge bar that's just the center of attention. So down there we can fit 200 as well. So we can fit 500 to 600 people in our cafe.
Oh, wow.
Have some fun events.
Oh, no, definitely. So thank you again for hosting our mixer today. Do you want to share a little bit about why you joined the South Chamber and how maybe your expectations of how we can continue to work forward?
Yes, I joined the South Chamber honestly because I think it's great to support the South Side community and our community, especially not to mention everybody that's employed here mostly is from the South Side. So as much as we can do to give back, staffing has been very difficult for us and all of America this year. We're probably, 30% staffed instead of 100%. So as much as we can give back to that community is something that means a lot to us. So that's why we joined, not just from a business, standpoint, but also just like community service. And we love to give back anytime that we can.
Right now, I think obviously the pandemic was a huge challenge, but then the post-reality of getting the economy going, and you mentioned being short-staffed. Do you want to speak to that a little bit about... I know your people are probably trying their best to step up to obviously fill some gaps in the workforce, but how have you seen maybe the locals, tourists, their reaction to service? Are they being patient, I hope, or it's a two-way
street?
Yeah.
And I would say that most of the public or people that aren't in the hospitality community, they don't really realize it at all. Unfortunately, our staff are yelled at a lot, just to be blunt, whether it's hosts or servers or different things, because they are frustrated. They see all these empty tables and they say, why do I have an hour wait?
Right.
And it's, because there's only 4 servers today. Right. I mean, to be honest, there's times where we've had to close for lunch because a cook called out and we just don't have another one that could come in because they're all working doubles, they're all working overtime, they're all working weekends, they're all working holidays. And literally, if somebody's calling out, there's nothing else we can do. So we literally couldn't do this without them. But yeah, most of the community doesn't understand. And I understand wanting to go back to normal. I mean, that's what we want to, right? We want as many people in here as possible. However, you have to take into consideration, I don't have enough staff to do that. You don't want to, overwork the staff that you have already coming in when you do need to come in. And so, it's everything from even ordering food, right? I used to order food a week in advance and it would get here. Now it's like 2 or 3 weeks to get certain things. But most people don't understand that either. They just think everything's going to go back
right
to how it was, and it just really hasn't.
And that's a reason why I wanted to bring that conversation up is commerce. I think we all have an expectation that we want to give good service, especially during COVID. It was about providing safe service too. I feel for you guys. I caught myself the other day getting impatient. I said, they mentioned, well, we're a little short-staffed. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense now. But yeah, we all have that expectation of quick service like we were used to, and times are definitely challenging to that right now. Do you have any other challenges you want to maybe speak to that maybe we could be more helpful in addressing too? The Chamber's been very mindful of the workforce gaps, and we've been bringing that up a lot. The reality too was there was a lot of different types of programs that exist at the time that almost disincentivized people to work, and we had to maybe have a uncomfortable conversation about that, but we did make some headway, obviously. I guess looking more in a positive light, a positive direction, new space, bigger space here, bigger space here. What are you hoping for for the rest of the year and going into 2022?
Honestly, we're really just hoping to bring on as many staff as possible, be 100% staffed by 2022, but also bring more people that aren't from San Antonio, to Hard Rock and have a great event here. We're really driven by convention business, so it's great that we have, the biggest convention center in Texas, and that really does help us. But we're just hoping to bring in as many people as possible, of course, and see our space in a responsible, safe way, and just hoping to, hopefully 2022 will feel more normal than 21 and 20 and just going forward.
right now, and I hate to date the video, we don't like doing that, but there, we had the surge of the Delta variant and whatnot. But can you speak to what you've seen with conventions? Are more coming? Have more been coming?
Yes, I will say that a lot more conventions are coming to Texas than other states. When I talk to other sales and marketing managers from other cafes, honestly, we're doing like the third best in North America compared to just Vegas and Orlando. So we're third to them right now. So okay. As far as conventions and getting events from conventions, so we are a huge convention city. We really just have to take advantage and capitalize on that. So, I mean, people literally are canceling their conventions at other places like New York or California and doing them here. So we are grateful that our convention center is open and our city is letting those people come to the Riverwalk.
That's great. Well, aside from, public health and safety, the businesses are always constantly having to be on their toes to innovate, to reach the consumer in a certain way. What have been maybe some spaces or ideas, or what do you think the future of your industry looks like, I guess, post-pandemic?
Hopefully, like I said, we can kind of go back to the regular normal. However, we did implement like a safe and sound program, and that just basically means we have a clean team cleaning 24/7. So if you go downstairs right now for regular business, there's a person in a yellow shirt and they're just wiping down everything all the time. We do have social distance protocols that we'll do for guests if they want to. If guests want to wear masks, they can wear masks, all of those things. But really our clean team is huge because I think restaurants just need that in general,
right, yeah.
Especially with all tourists and people coming in and out so often. So that really helps, all the way around.
I think it helped a lot of people develop best practices. A lot of folks were like, we were doing this anyways, or we should have been doing this maybe. I even, not to compare apples and oranges here, but my dental hygienist, she used to clean my teeth, I remember, with the little sprayer, the water spraying all over her, me, everywhere. And now after COVID, she's been wearing a face shield. And I was like, don't you think you should have been wearing that in the first place?
Yeah, I agree with that. She definitely should. Don't want to be in that splash zone.
Right. No. Well, before we close off, if you want to give some shout outs to any of the management team, leadership team, some folks, you could make a push.
I want to give a shout out to all my employees working today.
Yeah, give a round of applause.
Isabel and Emily at the bar. And then you have Erica. She's one of our servers, and Antonia. She's at the door, but they're awesome. And those are the people I love to keep happy. And obviously our management team is great too, but
well, they're
my people.
They're the people that show up. And so thank you for that.
Yes.
Be sure to tip them well, y'all. Well, in closing off, we want to thank you for being a South Chamber member. We want to thank you for hosting this mixture and giving us an opportunity to kick off season 2. I want to let you close off with any remarks you want for San Antonio, your customers, and let's close this off.
Okay, well, at Hard Rock, like I said, we want to create those authentic experiences that rock. We're here to give you guys a really great time. We have the largest memorabilia collection in the entire world, and we actually did get new Selena memorabilia, which we haven't since 1995. It's right downstairs. So, just come here. We're here to have a good time, and we love to have locals and tourists here alike. So thank you guys for coming.
I want to thank all of you. Yes, give her a round of applause. I want to thank you guys in the audience for joining us. I want to thank everybody joining us online. You've been given the business by the South San Antonio Chamber of Commerce.